this is a little bit tricky. Because you've been so busy and because you've been so energized and so buoyant, it feels very strongly in our truth card that somebody in your life, someone very close to you, really wants to talk to you about something, like really has something they need to like get off their chest, or maybe like a little confession. There's something that they have been putting off approaching you about or talking to you about, not because they don't want to tell you about it, but because they don't want to like mess up your groove. It's just the best intentioned lying I've ever felt in a reading. Welcome, my Libra friends. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome to your month outlook. Interesting message for you today. We have communicate, truth, and the Six of Wands. The energy around this is very specific. Maybe someone needs a little bit of this. The energy it's very specific. So for some of you, I feel like for all of you, my Libra friends, you've been very busy. It feels like your schedule has been jam-packed. It feels like barely had a moment to breathe. There's been a lot coming at you, and it feels like you have been going through it. You're like, I'm doing this. Like, this is great. Like, it's almost like you expected yourself to like burn out or give up or like just collapse at some point, but like you haven't. You are tapped into some kind of energy that is really fueling you and energizing you, and like what you're doing right now is not in an unhealthy way. Like, it is almost therapeutic for you to give yourself over to whatever it is that's happening in your life right now. And for some of you, it might just be busyness, like just taking care of your family, or work has been busy, or you've just had a lot of socializing going on. The message in here for you is make sure to create space to communicate inward. So maybe like your social engagements have gone on later than expected and you haven't been journaling before bed, or you've had to like get up earlier for some reason to go to work, and so you haven't been doing morning meditations. There's some aspect here where you felt like you didn't have enough time, so you had to cut out certain things. And those things were your self-care practices. Those were the things that helped get you to this place where you could participate in every single aspect of your life that you want to participate in with the fullness of who you are. But don't forget to come back. Don't forget to come back, create space, even if it's once a week, to journal, to meditate, to be still, to be in nature, to just be quiet and close your eyes, to stare at a blank wall, like anything, to stop that momentum going, because it's been going and 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 going, and you're like, this is great, this feels amazing. It's like a never-ending party almost. Like the energy around it is so happy. But inward, like deep on the inside, you're gonna find that you have some things. Like when we think about processing emotions, we really only think about processing heavy stuff or like repressing things that we don't have time to deal with. There is also such beauty and magic in processing the joyful emotions, in journaling about how today was absolutely blissful, in doing a gratitude meditation just because like life is going so well. There is so much, there's also a lot of juice in that, like manifestation power. So for the next 3 to 4 weeks, like if you can work that back into your schedule, I'm feeling like the benefits are just massive. Like the payoff is huge. It also helps keep you from getting burnt out, because it feels like this might go on for like maybe into the summer, maybe throughout the summer. Like whatever is happening feels like busy is going to be your new normal. So if you don't have time to do those things that really matter to you, oh, something cleared. If you don't feel like you have time to do those things that really matter, check into your mindset, because that lack mindset that comes around money is the same with time. If you feel like you don't have time, it's just an illusion. Like if something is a priority to you and very important, and you put that ahead of other things, it just opens up. Like the space just opens up, and there just is time. There just is. So I know that sounds crazy, but I don't judge it. I just deliver the messages. The other aspect, this is a little bit tricky. Because you've been so busy, and because you've been so energized and so buoyant, it feels very strongly in our truth card that somebody in your life, someone very close to you, really wants to talk to you about something. Like really has something they need to like get off their chest, or maybe even like a little confession. There's something that they have been putting off approaching you about or talking to you about, not because they don't want to tell you about it, but because they don't want to like mess up your groove. It's just the best intentioned lying I've ever felt in a reading. And it really only is lying by omission. Like they really are just waiting for the right time. So I think the message here is not to try and pull it out of them. I feel like maybe your instincts are already kind of like catching on to this if you've been feeling like a little something about somebody in your life. Your intuition is like, I'm getting spidey senses. Your intuition is telling you that there's something there, but you also like haven't really wanted to give it space. You're like, we'll deal with it later. Like, I don't know what it is, but now is not the time. So if you can, open up the channel open up the line of communication to let that information flow through. The outcome is beautiful. Like in our 6 of Wands, it is something that I feel like for them, and maybe for you too, we start to think the worst, right? Like when you have something to say, especially if you've done something that you feel like you've done wrong, or you feel like what you're going to say is going to hurt the other person, the longer you put it off, the more you like work it up in your head for like the worst possible scenario. So there's no rush to have this conversation, but at the same time, both of you are like, it's like doom. It's I don't know what the word is. It just keeps getting blown out of proportion, like mentally. So the sooner you can like have that conversation and get it out in the open, the sooner you can be like, oh, that was no big deal. That was no big deal at all. We'll have to talk more about it, but it's fine. Like it really is going to be okay. What else? I'm also feeling something about you communicating your truth in a much more compassionate way, not just for yourself, but the people around you. If you are a person that has like some really intense, like emotional surges, and you weren't sure like really where to put that or how to process that or what to do with that, it feels like you have learned, and you have learned how to sift through your emotions to find the things that are true, because having a surge of anger doesn't make you an angry person. You have to really like, here's the surge of anger, and then like kind of like unfold it and be like, okay, what really is this? Where is this really coming from? Oh, it's an insecurity that I didn't really know I had. Now I can take that insecurity and talk to the person that made me angry and be like, I was really angry, but it was coming from a place of insecurity within me. And now I feel okay to talk about it. So like this could go both ways. Like you also might be the person that wanted to get something off of your chest, that wanted to make a little confession and didn't know the right time because you have been so busy and you don't know how the conversation is going to go. So like, it's not by accident either. Like we just had this in our last reading. It's not by accident when this works out like that. Nothing should be done any sooner than it's done. It feels like you aren't quite done sifting maybe through that anger or that resentment or whatever it is, to find the pieces that are true. I'm really drawn back to meditation. So in meditation, there's a practice of like observing your thoughts without judging them or anything. So like as you're meditating and a thought comes up, and it can be the most heinous thought ever thought, like the most awful, terrible, rotten, evil thoughts will come to mind, but you aren't those thoughts. It's the same with your emotions. You don't have to take all of those emotions and accept them as my absolute truth. Those aren't the truth. Those are like signals for you to look deeper, for you to like really look at what's triggering you and get in there and just be with that emotion. Be with that emotion to see what's underneath it. So meditation, coming back to your meditation practice will be really beneficial for you. But beautiful work, like overall, like you've gotten to a place where things are just going to start opening up. So much success. This feels like creative success too, like being in our wands. A project coming through, something that you've been really like channeling your efforts into. Maybe that's why you've been so busy, because you've been like putting so much effort into making this thing, and it's beautiful, and it like it's coming out. It feels like in the next month it's coming out. The world is going to experience it, and it's gonna feel amazing. It already feels amazing. That's why you're in this energy. It's just such a radiant, buoyant energy, and you feel so good about it. That's why we haven't wanted to have the conversations, because you don't want to distract from it. You're like, well, if this pulls me down back into a gnarly place, I might mess up this thing I've been working on. And that's actually very smart. Like your instincts are probably correct. Like you might not be in a space to like, not that you can't handle it, but it's more like you want to be in a space where you can give this your full attention, your full energy. Same for the other person. Like even if they don't know how to put words to it exactly that way, they want you to be in a space where you can give it your full attention. Or they know that you would want to be in a space where you could give it your full attention. So prepare for that. Prepare for beautiful creative success, a lot of satisfaction from completing whatever it is that you've been working on so hard. Please find like some like what I was gonna say, self-respect. That's not it. Like give yourself a pat on the shoulder, because the amount of work that you've done and the amount of things that you've been juggling with a smile on your face, like a genuine smile on your face, is crazy. Amazing. Amazing. So I think that's it. I think that's our message for you, my Libra friends. I appreciate you so much. I love you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful month. I'll see you next time.